What is going on, guys? I am just in here. I know I messed with you with it a little bit last night. I was giving you guys a heads up. Since people are starting to do their drafts, now you're really going to get to see a lot of this stuff in the research things that I was kind of talking to you about. So today, as you can see, is August 9th, and it's right after the Duke Johnson trade. So if you're not maybe following the news, or if you're trying to get a head start or a jump on people, if you look, what Yahoo does is basically there was 849 total transactions. Now, when the season's starting, this is going to be in the thousands, right? So you're going to get a lot bigger trend look. But if you see here, they got the green bar as ads, and that means 780 people added and 68 people dropped Duke Johnson. In addition, there was 488 transactions, but these were all basically drop transactions. So you can see dropping Jerick McKinnon. He has that knee issue. And same with Kiki Kuti. And you'll see these types of things, right? So what you're going to want to do is each week you're going to kind of get in here and see this. Okay, look at everybody adding the Philadelphia defense. Okay, that might tell you that next week or maybe a week or two down the road, they have a pretty easy slate, pretty easy schedule. So when you're going through and you're looking at the bye weeks of your defense or you're something like that, or you're looking at bye weeks of your team, and you start seeing and picking up on this, you might be sitting there going, oh, wow, okay, Philly's got an easy stretch. Maybe they're playing, some junky teams. And everybody else knows that as well, right? So like this maybe here. Maybe they're playing Miami and then they play the Giants, right? And then they play Washington down. It's a little tough divisional games. And then they play the Giants again week 17. You won't play that one because nobody plays week 17. But weeks 13 and 14, let's just say hypothetically that your defense was on a bye during one of these weeks and you see this opportunity that people are jumping on. And I think a lot of that, if I'm looking at this right, and I'm trying to explain it to you guys, if you look at this, like the Giants are probably, and the Dolphins are probably going to be the worst two teams in the league. So if you grab a divisional opponent of them, you're likely to score points because they're going to play them at least twice, right? And, well, they're going to play the Dolphins twice, Giants twice, right? So you can grab either one of those two defenses. In addition to that, you can stream defenses every week that are playing each one of these two teams, right? So you can go in there, you can look at the schedule, and you can click over here. You can drop it down and say, okay, I want to look at the, let's go to the bottom here. Drop it down, and we want to go to first of course, they're not going to show me. Here we go. Let's say the Giants. All right, we want to go to the Giants. And this is their last year's schedule. So if you click on 2019, they're not going to tell you that, but they will give you some information. So this is who they're going to play, right? They're playing Dallas, Buffalo, Tampa, Washington, Minnesota, New England, right? I bet you there's not many people out there that are going to draft any of these defenses. Okay, maybe New England's, and maybe Minnesota's. Okay, but any of these four, right? You could literally stream for the first 4 weeks, pick up Dallas's defense, then play Buffalo's defense, then play Tampa's defense, and then play the Washington Redskins defense, knowing that you have defenses set up for the first 4 weeks here, and they're not going to be taken. People are going to be taking these other defenses like Chicago, Philly, defenses like that are pretty solid defenses. But you will get more points streaming against crappy teams than you will against teams that are actually, solid. Because, Chicago is going to play Green Bay twice, and they're going to play Detroit twice, and they're going to play, oh my gosh, drawing a blank, the Bears, Packers, oh my gosh, drawing a blank. Vikings. Jeez Louise, are right freaking here. Good grief. Anyways, sorry about that. brain on reduced load, I guess, right now. But anyways, guys, that's what you kind of want to do. So this is a defensive strategy, right? Nobody cares about defense. Nobody, right? But that's a strategy that I deploy all the time is I stream these defenses, right? Now, maybe it's one week you're picking up one of these defenses, and all of a sudden, maybe week 3 or week 2, you're grabbing Buffalo. And, they played the Giants, and they played, whoever the Buffalo Bills played. If we jumped up here, right, we sit there and say, okay, who are the Bills playing? So we go to the Bills, and we're dropping down here. And they're going to play the Jets, and then they're going to play the Giants. who knows how that's going to be? Who knows how it's going to work out with Darnold? Who knows what Lev Bell's going to be like? Who knows what those two teams are like? And honestly, who knows what these first three teams are like? So it might actually be a very beneficial thing to grab Buffalo's defense. Now they're going to play New England, but in addition, that is a divisional game. So even though I said before, you've got divisional, you're playing a divisional opponent before, like, you'd want to pick up one of these divisional opponents. You also don't have to be as afraid of somebody like New England because Buffalo plays them so much that Buffalo kind of strategizes against Brady. So maybe Brady can throw 3 touchdowns against everybody else, but in his divisional games, it's like when they went undefeated, but the Dolphins beat them, right? Or something like that came up. I guess that was another year. But the first loss, I think they were like 12-0 or 13-0, and the Dolphins beat them, and then they went undefeated and lost in the Super Bowl to the Giants. But New England against divisional opponents struggle, and usually because the team, the players a lot better, the schemes a lot better, you know what to look for. So that's kind of what I look for. It's kind of what I'm going at. So in the first couple weeks, I'm looking at the crappy teams. I look for the crap teams, and honestly, Buffalo's defense I'll probably target because I'm not going to keep Buffalo's defense all season. Then again, who knows? Maybe Buffalo's defense starts turning it on, and maybe it's 15 points, 15 points, 15 points, 10 points, 15 points. And then I'm like, crap, maybe I just hold on to them because they actually have a solid defense, right? So these are types of things that you kind of luck into when you're streaming defenses like this. So that's a big strategy. I look for the first couple weeks, who's playing crappy teams, who has an easy schedule defensively, or should have an easy schedule defensively, and I grab those guys, I grab that defense. I don't grab those defenses. I never grab multiple defenses unless I think maybe I did it a year or two ago when Chicago's defense was just freaking dropping 20 points a week for me. I think it might have been last year or something like that. They were just ridiculously pounding down points, and for me to drop them for one bye week absolutely was not happening. So I had another bench guy on my team. I just dropped him because I wasn't really too concerned. But that is a strategy you can deploy. That is something you guys can do, and it is a big tip, and not many people talk about it because nobody really likes talking about defenses and kickers. So that's a great defensive strategy. It's something you can do, and you kind of just go in here into this research tab, and you can look at fantasy points against right here, and that's how you get to that. And then also in the research tab, you're really wanting to look at those transaction trends, so that's going to help you decide if you should keep a player, drop a player, or be looking into a player that maybe there's some hype around. Not every time you're going to go out here and go into the transaction trends, and you're not going to go out here and grab a guy. But, if you start seeing them more frequently on that transaction trends, or you come down here and you go, oh, Duke Johnson, oh, man, look, now he's looking to get 11 some odd points a week. Oh, crap, okay, maybe I should pick up Duke Johnson, right? Jerick McKinnon, maybe his points are dropping. Maybe we'll see he's 13 right now, so they haven't adjusted him yet for his knee issue, right? So these are a lot of things you can be looking at. 292 people added Tom Brady. He's projected to get 20 points or so. And these are things that not many people think about that allow you to separate yourself. So look, Seattle was added 188 times. Well, why? Because they're playing Cincinnati week 1. Well, if you go look at the strength of schedule and look at how people think Cincinnati's going to perform, look at the Vegas odds, I think they think the Giants and the Dolphins are going to be fighting for last place, and Cincinnati's going to be pretty close to that. So when you're looking for teams and you're looking for defenses, target those defenses like that, right? And you get them when they get the points against the crap teams. People are so afraid to pick up and drop teams. They're going to hold on to their defense for 3, 4, 5 weeks because that's just how naturally I drafted them. I got to hold them. They don't have that mindset of being able to be changing up every week, and that's how you win, and that's how you make it to the championship. That's why I do it all the time. I'm there every year. And so what I would say is do this, because then next thing you know, let's say Buffalo goes out 3 weeks in a row, they crush it, boom, you drop them. Guaranteed somebody picks up Buffalo's defense because they don't realize the only reason they had that many points is because they were playing the Giants and the freaking Jets. And Washington was third. They don't even realize that's why the Buffalo Bills defense was doing so well. And next thing you know, here you're switched over to, maybe the Redskins defense, and you're going against you're dropping them a bomb on them because, now they're playing the Giants. And they look at you like, how do you know? How do you know? How do you get all these teams? It's not fair. It's because you're paying attention. You're not thinking the same way everybody else does, and you're not looking at these stupid projected points, right? They're really irrelevant. These points really don't factor in or mean much, especially on defense and kickers. Occasionally on running backs, it's an estimate. It's Yahoo's estimate, but I go off of what I think, right? So here's everybody going after Washington's defense. People think this is why. This is why everybody's going and picking up Philadelphia, because Yahoo put them at 9 points for week 1. So people think, oh, I got to get the highest projected points. I don't care about any of that. I'm not worried about it. But as you can see, if you look down here, you can start picking up on the teams that people think are going to be terrible. Detroit's going to be terrible is what they're saying, right? And down here, you've got the Jets are going to be terrible this year. This is what Yahoo's already forecasting. The Giants are going to be terrible, 8 points. This is an anomaly to be up here at 9 points week 1. And maybe it's just because people are trying to get in the system of things, and defense is easier to get in the rhythm than offense is in the NFL. And that's just kind of how it works. So if you went through a setup like that, you can go down here and we can check out Dallas's defense. Why are they picking them up? Oh, because they're playing the freaking Giants. 9 points. Then they play Washington right after that, which shockingly, they think that Dallas is only going to score 6 points against Washington, but Philly's going to score 9. And it could be divisional thing, but boom, they play Miami. Dallas is a great defense to pick up because look at these teams they're playing. I mean, this is not a good schedule for them, New Orleans and Green Bay, but then you pop back down here, and boom, they play Buffalo in Week 13. So it looks like you've got your Week 13 defense down here, right? So you start mapping this kind of stuff out, like, oh, I'm going to draft Dallas or I'm going to draft Buffalo. I'd probably draft Dallas just because I see they're playing the Giants. I'm going to draft them, and overall, if I went out here to the rankings, if I go out to player rankings, and I go to 2019 season projections, that's what you do, right? So you go to, and you make this defense, okay? This is what's going to happen. Watch what happens when they go to draft these things. People are going to be drafting Chicago first, okay? Where is Dallas going to go? All the way down here. What? No, I don't even know what number that is, right? So here, they're not even on the first page. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. They're ranked 16 right now in total projected points. But that's irrelevant because you know they're playing the Bills and you know they're playing the Giants in the first 2 games. So Washington, the Giants, and Miami. You know they got an easy first 3 weeks. So you're targeting them. You're picking them up at your draft, playing them, and you're hoping that, what's Chicago's team like? Oh, they play Green Bay, Denver, Minnesota. I mean, these are good teams. Chicago's got a great defense, but I doubt they throw up as many points as Dallas is throwing up. And then people either they get upset because they drafted high capital and they keep Chicago, and they're going to hold on to Chicago's defense because that's what people do. They get that recency bias. They get upset about it. They lose their person because they picked Chicago's defense in the 8th round because for whatever reason they think that they can predict defenses, and you can't. You can't. So you got to play who's playing tough teams. Like, look at this. These numbers are a little skewed because the Rams have a good defense, but you can kind of go down the list and say, oh, 9, boom, Tampa, they suck, right? Boom, Cincinnati, 9, they suck, right? And you can kind of pick up on, oh, who's going to, Baltimore, oh, they're probably going to suck. Arizona, they're probably going to suck. They're good, they got good key pieces now. They just drafted Kyler Murray, and they got things good, David Johnson, things like that. But overall, they're probably going to suck. And so these are the type of things you're looking at. These are the teams and opponents you're trying to pick up teams on. So Baltimore is going to be playing Miami week 1. I would stay away from that. They both are going to suck. But Baltimore's defense, even still, look, they play Miami and Arizona. You could almost pick up Baltimore's defense the first 2 weeks. Now, somebody's probably going to pick them up because look at their ranked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're going to think, oh, great, got Baltimore's defense. And then all of a sudden, how can I start them against Kansas City? Cleveland's been stepping their shit up. Pittsburgh's doing good. Okay, you can start them against Cincinnati and maybe Seattle. It depends on what Seattle decides to play this year. But you're not going to start them against New England. I mean, you start getting down here, the Rams, the Texans, San Fran, depending on how Garoppolo and that whole situation shakes out. This is not like the greatest of schedules for them later on. But people are going to hold on to Baltimore's defense. They don't even pick up a second defense because they think Baltimore's doing good. They don't realize it's based on their opponents, right? On who they're playing. Kansas City, who are they going to be playing? Let's see here. They actually doesn't look like they even have a really weak opponent. Maybe Oakland, they're saying here. Denver, I don't know. Those are kind of mediocre. So they got a pretty tough sled going forward. That's not something I'd be wanting to be a part of, any of that defense, right? New Orleans is usually a pretty good one that you get it later in the draft. Let's say I've been picking them up later, but people will probably pick them up here because they're probably ranked a little bit higher Yahoo-wise. If I go to their rank, they don't show it on this screen. But anyways, guys, that's kind of what I was trying to show you. I was just trying to give you a heads up and let you know this is kind of how a tool and a trick you can use to maximize points, because that's what you're trying to do. You can't get emotional. You can't get stuck on a team. You can't get stuck on any of that. I don't care if they're your team. I don't care if you're a Bears fan. I'm a Packers fan. I ain't drafting the Packers defense, and I ain't drafting Aaron Rodgers because I'm not spending the capital on a quarterback that early, and it doesn't matter, right? And I realize, guys, that I could not remember all 4 teams in our division. I understand this. Don't have to quote me on that. You don't have to. You don't have to knock me on that one. It's been a long day, but anyways, anywho. That being said, you're playing to win. You're not playing to draft your own team so you can cheer for your own team, right? If chips fall that way, that's great. But don't target your team. Be smart, be strategic. Take your defense last or second to last. Take your kicker last or second to last. One of those 2 swaps. You can take your quarterback in the last, depending on what the value is. Sometimes I've been taking Cam Newton now in like the 10th round. He's been very valuable at the 10th round because I don't have a wide receiver running back to replace the upside that Cam gives me, right? But otherwise, I'm taking, if Cam's off the board, I'm just going to wait till like the 13th round, pick up Cam Newton, and then you're looking at tight end later in that draft too, like 10th round. Maybe you get Vance McDonald, but I mean, maybe you can get Evan Ingram if he starts dropping a little bit because the Giants offense is going to be pretty bad. But these are kind of things that you're trying to think about. You're not thinking team. Don't think about teams. Don't be biased like that. The people that always lose are the people that draft all these players from their own team because they can cheer for them. It's not logical. It doesn't make sense if you want to win, right? You want a variety of people, okay? It's having Peyton Manning and Tom Brady on the Colts would not have benefited the Colts in any way, shape, or form. Maybe one year when Peyton Manning had his neck go down and one year when Brady had his knee go out. That's the only 2 times that would have actually helped them out, having those 2 top-tier quarterbacks. It's the same concept. You don't want to have all these guys from your same teams that you're being team biased on. You want to pick guys that are just going to get you points, and they're going to be consistent, and they're going to get them all the time, and that's how you're going to win, okay? So I'm going to sign off with that, guys. I appreciate y'all tuning in. I'm going to keep trying to give you guys tips and tricks up to the draft. I'll be streaming my draft here. Hopefully you guys like the video. Hopefully you like the tip. Like, subscribe, share, do your thing on the bottom down there. If you don't mind, it helps me out. And it makes me understand if you guys like the content or not. Leave a comment down below if you're digging it. If you're not digging it, what I can improve on. I'm trying to work on this to help you guys get to where I'm at, which is I don't know, I think I'm platinum or something like that on here, or diamond or whatever. And I'm I've got multiple championships. And that's what I'm trying to hopefully do for y'all. Help y'all. Oh, I'm diamond, yeah. Hopefully get you guys up here where you guys have a trophy case. It looks like this. And it wasn't until late that I started really kind of doing this stuff. But ever since 2003, I think I've been playing. And but here, this is the years that I've won in the last year, like since 2000. This is all my trophies here. So this is what we're trying to do. This is where we're trying to get you guys first place, second place, get you to the championship game. If you're in money leagues, let's get you up to the money, get you paid. That's what you're trying to do. All right. So just focus on the end goal, and you guys will make it there. I'll let you guys know all my moves, what I'm doing every day. I'm gonna just keep pounding it on Instagram, Facebook, letting you guys know so that you guys can win this championship too. So you guys will be there with me through the journey. I appreciate it, and take it easy. I'll see y'all tomorrow.